Interactions between organisms are always occurring in the environment and in our ecosystems. We're going to talk about 5 different relationships in this class. So we've got mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, predation, and competition. So let's go through them one at a time. Mutualism means that both of the organisms are benefiting. So we have a smiley face, smiley face. So with this bee and flower here, the flower is benefiting because it gets its pollen, these little white little pieces, the pollen gets transferred to another flower so that it can fertilize the other flower and it can have baby flowers. And the bee is benefiting because it can take the nectar from inside the flower and use it for food for their babies or make honey out of it. Remember, that's mutualism. They are mutually benefiting. Commensalism means one has a positive effect and one, or a positive benefit, and one gets a 0, meaning, okay, the one with the positive effect gets something good, the one with a 0 gets nothing. It doesn't get hurt though, so it's like a meh, not so hot, not so good, just neutral. Okay, so in this case, the coral here does not get anything from the relationship with the fish. It's just sitting there kind of like, whatever. But this fish can actually use this coral area as a safe hiding spot, kind of like a home. So it's being able to hide from other bigger fish that might get them. Okay, this next one, parasitism, we have a positive and a negative. So one's benefiting, one is not benefiting. It gets something negative. So this fish, that looks like a trout to me, is definitely the negative in this situation. This guy here is called a lamprey, and the lamprey sucks onto this fish. It digests some of its material around its body, like the meat, and breaks it down. I'll show you a picture next that shows what the mouth looks like, but it sucks on and then it takes its little teeth and eats away at the fish. The fish might not die from this lamprey, but when the lamprey removes itself from the fish, there's a big gaping wound there, and then it might die later from a bacteria infection or something like that. So here's the lamprey. Again, this is the lamprey here in the picture, the one that is benefiting. The fish is not benefiting, it's actually getting hurt. Okay, so the lamprey, that's what its mouth looks like. It's got these little tiny teeth, and these teeth move just a little tiny bit. And so when this sucks onto this edge of the fish, it sits and scrapes on the fish until little bits of piece of that fish go into the mouth, and then it sucks it down and eats it. Okay, predation is another interaction. One gets a positive, one not positive, gets a very big negative. So this is when one animal captures and feeds on the other organism. And usually it will eat the entire thing or eat it, it kills it instantly and then starts eating it. It doesn't just slowly eat it. So ladybugs eat aphids. This is a water bug. These actually live here in Minnesota. They're about 5 inches long or 10 centimeters, right around there. And they live like in Lake Harriet and in lakes and ponds. And they usually live underneath little logs in the water. And then they go and grab little tiny fish and eat them. They're pretty vicious. Okay, and then here is an easy one. There's a wolf, killed a deer, it's now eating it. Okay, so the difference here between predation and parasitism is that parasitism does not usually kill the animal. And if it does end up killing it, it takes it a long, long time for it to happen. And it usually dies because of an infection, something like that. But predation, it kills it pretty much right away and then starts to eat it. Competition is the last one we're going to talk about. In this one, this is when organisms are trying to use the same limited resource or the same place at the same place at the same time, and they start fighting each other over it, and they both are negatively affected by this relationship. Maybe one wins, but still they get tired out or they get injured or they don't get as much food as they would really like. So they both definitely have a negative effect. These two deer are fighting probably for territory or maybe for a mate. These guys are fighting over maybe some food. The hyenas want the food, and the lion also wants the food. Maybe it has a zebra trapped underneath it and wants to eat it. Okay, so what you learned today, you're going to answer some questions here right after this, and you're going to use this knowledge in your next activity. All right, have a great day.